What? Colin Pinter was so bad today. Hulkenberg had damage, and he was still 4.5 seconds behind him at the end of the race. Gasly was in the top 10, though. What the fuck was Colin Pinter doing? Yeah, but it's the same car as it always has been. You know, it's just still a shit box. He's doing a good job. Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you're kind of cooked on that. Oh, there you are. I was wondering when you were going to come online. Oh, no, wait, Unchosen, why are you on the stream and not in the race? Unchosen's on my stream, but he's not racing. Come on, Rain to Allah for a wet race in Abu Dhabi lands, says Dervas in my chat. Hello, everyone. A wet race in Abu Dhabi would be great for Dervas. I feel like he'd be good at this track anyway, though. It's a pretty controller-friendly track. Hello, Fabian. Sorry about the wait, everyone. It's because we're waiting on cereal, of course. Fuck's sake. Yeah, we all know CB's going to win, John's going to get second, and Dervas going to get third. Maybe, probably Graham Crackers, actually. No, I forgot Fabian exists. Never mind, Fabian's getting P2, no problem. Yeah, no, Fabian, you're probably going to win F1. I can't lie. It's Singapore. You're good at Singapore. Oh shit, Unchosen has viruses on his PC and he has to get it fixed? That's crazy. But yeah, come on, Serial. We got fucking elevator music and everything. We're waiting for you. Also, 2 of the people that just joined NPL last week are actually online now, so I'm hoping they actually race today, which would be great, because usually when people sign up, they just sign up and don't race for like 3 weeks. You should come back to bed. John, come back to bed. I need to get 27 points. Why do you need 27 points, Fabian? Oh, you mean in F1? I thought you meant F2. I was going to say. Yeah, you do. If you got 27 points in both races this weekend, Fabian, you would be only 26 points behind me in the Drivers' Championship, and that would concern me a lot. Because the last 4 races are all tracks that you're better than me at. So that's kind of cooked. Besides maybe Canada. I don't know how Canada's going to go, but I don't see me doing very well at that track, apparently. Yeah, that's 1 race. I'm a singer. I know what I'm doing. Anyway, Fabian has to go. I'm hoping he wins the championship. He says, lobby update. There he is. Right, go to literally any team besides, like... You're literally in the session, what do you mean? Oh my fuck... You know what? Should we just fucking start without him? I can't be out. I know you're not in, that's what I'm saying. Let's start without him. Oh my god, they're actually there. He's here. Oh no, Cyril, please just go to a team that no one's in, just so we don't I have to do stupid point calculations. I hate it. Go to like Pytech or something, or like ART or Dams. Oh my god, Cyril, what's wrong with your internet? Fuck you mean? Cyril crash out is crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Crazy. I think you might be able to join before the end of one shot quality if you're quick enough, but probably not. Okay, never mind. Let's start. Sorry about the wait. Everyone on the stream, just like 3 people anyway, but yeah. It's fine. Permit's off. You just won't qualify very well. Oh no, and CB has selected the balance setup and is now cooked in qualifying. Welcome to NPL Season 2 Race 14 at Abu Dhabi. We have 6 drivers today. Fabian goes ahead there and takes first before this actually even started. CB's going to struggle to get pole here on the track that he is 20th in the world at, I believe, in time trial. Look at this track limits through the first corner, impressive stuff. And Dervas there in second. It's doing pretty well, so far it is. We have 2 Invictus, 2 Primers, an MP and an AX today in the race. We only have 6 people, which is pretty standard to be honest with F2 this season. But yeah. I'm wait. Dervas has gone on to first, Groundcrackers into second with that good straight line speed he seems to have in the Primer. John, I think, braked way too late into that corner. We'll find out in a second. Maybe Dervas braked too early. Let's find out. I think that was actually the case. Great stuff from John there. I thought, given how long... Oh, Groundcrackers is up to first. Groundcrackers is cooking here in F2 at Abu Dhabi. Can he get his third win in the season? We could see it happen. And only his second season in the series. Of course, last season he drove for... was it Campos? I don't remember. Yeah, Campos last season. And now he's in Premier, and ever since he's been to Premier, he's been a new man. He's been really fast in F2. Look at this pace. Also in F1 too, I should mention, Groundcrackers is on the up here. He could soon be a front-running car if he keeps at it. But Groundcrackers, they're continuing on through the final couple of corners now in the final sector. John closing in, CB2, almost, he does hit the wall over there on the right side, but I think they will get away with it. This could actually be a really good lap from Groundcrackers. This could be only be his second pole of his career in NPL here. In F2, let's see if he can do it. Cross the line, it's going to be pretty good. 1 minute 33.8, pretty good lap. Only a 10th quicker than John in second. 4th place for CB. Fabian got disqualified. I assume he invalidated the lap somehow. And yeah. CB there, who probably would have got pole if it weren't for that issue, is... Oh, look how close it is. Even despite that, only 4/10 off pole position. Definitely plausible that CB will be the quickest driver. Hopefully he'll be able to change his setup going into the race, which would be great for his championship challenge. Radley apparently went off the track a couple of times. That is an understatement because he's 2.9 seconds off the pace of the pole out from Groundcrackers. Only his second pole ever in NPL after a dominant pole in F2 with Austria earlier this season, where he also went on to win that race. So 100% pole to win conversion rate for Groundcrackers so far in his career in F2. Can he continue it today? That is true. That is very true. That is a lot better than DJ. He was by far the worst pole to win rate ratio ever with 0%. I think DJ in his overall NPL career has 13 pole positions, which is fucking insane. That includes F1 and F2, and he's got 0 wins in both, so that's quite funny. Anyway, here we go. Coming with the 5 red lights on in front of the drivers. This is right before F1, so we're going to have to get this out of the way quickly. It is. Lights out, away we go. And it is a good start from Groundcrackers. John in second place gets away pretty well. Dervas, though, is alongside him already. Will John send it down the inside to the first corner? No, he doesn't, but CB on the outside will get alongside, and he does go past in the first corner. CB going wide off the track. Will it be an illegal overtake? Let's find out. I don't think it was. And now John from second down to 4th already on the first lap. Fabian already right behind him on his case. This is really interesting stuff. Fabian, of course, won here in NPL in F1 in Season 10. Looking to repeat that in F2 here today. So, right on the outside is John going to make a move on CB. Going in deep into the corner, Dervas sends a dive, unlike Max Verstappen in 2021. Couldn't quite make it, went in a bit too deep. And Groundcrackers goes down the inside and gets the switchback on him. Now they're side by side down the straight. This will give CB encouragement to get the double slipstream down here. And it's still side by side for the race lead. This is great racing here in Abu Dhabi. Last season, F2 was fantastic at Abu Dhabi, so I won't be surprised if we see it again. To the outside of the track, Dervas is very close. There's contact with Groundcrackers in the braking zone. There's more contact, and he spins around in front of CB there, and it's almost an Invicta 1-2, but no, and the Groundcrackers, who was on pole position from 0 to 0. Very unlucky there. That will probably be investigated after the race. We'll see what happens with that. But Dervas up to the lead now from from 3rd place on the grid. CB in 2nd. And now Fabian in 3rd place is right behind these two, but CB looks so quick in that AIX car, looking to pull away from the field here. John is still pretty close in proximity. So is Riley in the frame there. I was surprised to see him at front, but it's line of stern for the top 6. Complete chaos on the open. Oh no, and now going in deep is Riley now. We have, so interesting stuff. John trying to do the one-stop and going long with the overcut with the medium to super soft strategy. Could be interesting. Oh, contact with the wall. Was that Fabian? So I saw a bollard go flying there. That must have gone pretty far on the inside through that corner. But now the AX there of CB on just a second race from his return, doing what I did in Season 5, hopefully, and that is to get back in the title fight without even being in most of the races of the season. Let's see what he can do. CB there, continuing on now. With Devas in front, is so close up front. Fabian trying to stay close to the leading cars so far, struggling to do so. Devas has pretty good pace here. I'm surprised to see it. No discredit to him, of course, but you'd think this track wouldn't necessarily benefit him on a controller, but so far so good for Devas. He's doing pretty well, but only 2.5 tenths ahead of CB in second, who's now got DRS and the purple first sector, looking lightning fast in that car. Meanwhile, Grumcrackers has already caught back up to this field. He looks really fast today. I wouldn't discount him. He has the purple first sector now. So Grumcrackers is definitely still in with a chance to win this race if he can keep going at this pace. And CB now has a huge run on Devas. Goes to the outside of the track. Interesting decision there. Will Devas now get the DRS on him? Devas will send on the inside. No, he doesn't. CB goes in really deep into the corner. He goes too deep. And Devas will now come alongside him. Is there going to be contact? Almost. There was there. And now off the corner, will Devas have the DRS there? I don't think either of them do. Here comes Fabian. No, it is CB with the DRS now. Let's do some television. That's what the issue was. Here comes CB and Fabian now. They're both going to try and get past Devas in first place. Is it going to be 3 wide into this corner? No, it's not. But it's still side by side. Devas defending pretty well. And now to the outside, this will be a sensational overtake if he makes it. I think he will. He's gone wide though, and it's still side by side though. He has the inside line for this double right-hander through these kinks. Will Devas go defensive into this section? He does not. He doesn't need to. CB's too far back to make a move. And now with a much better exit, Fabian's on his case too. Look how tight this racing is up front. Ebo John trying to stay close with these guys. Riley there just fending off his teammate who really should let him pass. I can't lie. He's not really helping his chances here. Side by side here in the final sector. Will Grumcrackers go for a move here? He does. He goes around the outside. Riley backs out. Smart decision there. And this will put him back in the chance to win this race, hopefully, with these cars in front battling so fiercely. And John gets the fastest lap on the medium tires because he wasn't in that fight. He is looking pretty quick on the mediums himself, this is really benefiting him and his strategy, as it did in Qatar with the fighting up front. It's really benefiting John's strategy, which he tends to do, which is just to go onto the medium and then finish the race in the super soft and look nice and fast at the end. So John looking poised to win this race at this rate with this strategy if he can keep up this pace and stay close to the leading cars who are on the what you would say is the orthodox strategy. Of course, John was on the ultimate strategy, but to be honest, this is what I would do in this situation, is to go long on the first thing. Given that you can't pit for new tyres under a safety car, there's not really much point pitting early, to be honest, because it's just beneficial to have better tyres at the end. Meanwhile, here comes CB once again now on the outside of Dervas. Still side by side heading into the braking zone. Will Dervas go for it this time? CB makes the corner. Really good stuff from CB. Around the outside of Dervas, but Dervas will have a switchback. Almost contact with his teammate. There is contact with his teammate. And Fabian there goes into second. He's going to chase down CB now. Is he going to have the overspeed? I think he will. He should get in line right in front of him. He does. Here comes John now with DRS on these two Invicta cars in front of him, who are both on the podium. Line of stern now right behind CB, who's leading the way. Look how close they are up front. Really good racing here. 2 races in a row. We've seen phenomenal lead fights here at NPL in F2. Wide and off the track goes Fabian. He's trying anything he can. He's be careful though, because we've seen him get track limits before. So Fabian needs to avoid that as much as he can in this race. Chasing down CB then nonetheless. He's still right behind him in the battle for the race lead on track. Looking very interesting between these guys. Into the wall a little bit, there goes Fabian. Dervas seems to be losing pace here quite substantially now. Does he have damage or anything? I don't think he does. I think he's just struggling with the tyre wear here. He breaks in very late for that corner. Really scrubs the speed off with the turning on the car. CB gets the fast lap of the race, but not by much, over Fabian in second place, who himself looks pretty quick here. Now the field will string out a bit, I think, because CB does seem to have the best pace of anyone at the moment, besides maybe Grumcrackers at the start of this race, who seems to have dropped off a bit, as it is hard to keep up with these cars in front. He is slowly closing in though. Slowly but surely with these battles, he could still very well get in this fight for the race lead here. He does slow down a little bit too much in these high-speed corners, I think, is his main issue. But CB there leads the way, Fabian in second, Devas in third. DRS though will prove pivotal. We're not the best exit there for CB off the corner. This could give encouragement to Fabian to go for the race lead now on this lap. Lap 4 at 17 here. Still a long way to go in this race. Still a lot that can happen. Let's see if Fabian sends a dive on here onto the chicane. And he will. Wouldn't be the best decision. He might hit the back of him though. Oh, it's close. There is contact. I thought there would be. He did brake very late. And meanwhile, John behind is battling with Dervas. He goes over the sausage curb though. Can't make anything happen as of yet, but it's still very close between them. Here comes Fabian now on a move with CB. Can he do it? To the outside he goes with the DRS and the overspeed. He should be able to make a move on the outside if he brakes late enough. I think he will. CB there sends it down the inside. Will he set up for a switchback? CB parks car on the inside. Great defending from him there. And Fabian trying to use the inside curve as much as he can to get on the inside. Maybe try a switch road. He couldn't quite do that. Great defending from CB. Hard but fair racing out front between these two. Really good stuff to see. Of course, they battled last time out in Qatar. Now they're battling once again in this race. So let's see what happens in the remainder of this race. Fabian does look quick enough here to stay with CB, who's really struggling with understeer, it looks like, through these medium speed corners. But now it's so close between the Dervas, though. It's actually dropping behind these guys, and it's now under the clutches of John. No, John is on the medium tyres there, and everyone else is on super softs. John is not washed. By the way, John, Dan said you're washed. Anyway, John just said to you, Dan, that you're a one-win wonder, and honestly, I kind of agree with you. Anyway, let's see, Fabio. What can he do? He's closer this time than last time by. And Grandcrack is still losing time, just a little bit. Lost 2/10 that lap on the cars ahead as of this point last lap. Dervas, did he get DRS? He did. Just about got DRS by braking late, and that's very, very important for his race. So he'll hope that these cars in front will battle a lot. I think Fabian could be closer to make a move here. He has got pretty good straight line speed in that Invicta. He might try it. CB goes, he forces it to go defensive. That was good driving there for Fabian. Brakes very late. Will he go around the outside? What a move that would be if he can make it. He's going to try. He's on the soft go on the inside. Great racing between these two. And it's Fabian versus CB now for the race lead here. Look at this. He's going to have the DRS and the overspeed coming down the straight. Will he do the same as he did last time? We should have gone to the inside, to be honest, because that was an open door for him. And he would have absolutely gotten the lead there into the corner, because now CB will have the same strategy available to him. Unless Fabian could cut in more, but no, again, CB does manage to make the inside work, as you would expect. And Dervas is now being brought back into this fight because of the cars up front. This is phenomenal racing here at Abu Dhabi. And Groundcrackers here, who started on pole position, would wish to be in this fight as of right now, but just can't seem to get back up to this field. Riley, though, driving his own race in 6th place, 1.8 seconds behind his teammate, falling away more and more each lap, and just trying to get points for his team and the Prima team there. He still get 8 points where he is right now, so pretty good stuff for Riley. John there is back in this fight. As these tyres start to degrade, he will really be rubbing his hands together, looking for only a second win of the season. He's had a difficult season here, looking to defend his championship. He is the championship leader coming into this race, but he is behind his title rival Dervas. So, as of right now, at least, it's not looking good for him, but with the strategy he's on, I think he will reap the rewards at the end of this race when he's on the super soft tyres and he can start really pushing to go after that race lead. Oh, be careful on that curve there. John, he almost spun out, of course. It's very easy to do through there. Meanwhile, Fabian is really close to CB once again. He did, yeah. John just went flying over the curves on the alternate layout that is not used in F2. But this is the closest Fabian's ever been going into the chicane. I think he will surely make a move on the inside here, or at least try to. CB goes fan to be once again, though. He goes to the outside. He opts for the outside line. I think he wants to go around the outside, I think. He's going to try it. He's definitely going to be able to. He does. Great move from Fabian around the outside of CB for the race lead. Wonderful stuff. Will CB have DRS? Yes, he will. So this will be probably a re-overtake here for CB. And that's, of course, Fabian does what CB did last few laps, and that is hug the inside going through this next corner. But CB looked pretty quick on the exit. He got much better traction this time, and this time he does get back ahead of Fabian. He's just keeping this race nice and well paced. I think CB's confident in his pace by the looks of it, given that he's managing to re-overtake Fabian much more easily than Fabian can overtake him. So I think CB does seem to be the quickest driver on track right now. But John, fights on the medium tyres and still keeping up with these guys 6 laps into the stint, does prove, first of all, that the tyre wear on the super softs is not the best, but second of all, that the medium tyres are really going to benefit him here in this race strategy-wise. Dervas struggling through the final sector again to stay close to his rivals up front. He's still there though, he's still within this fight. Just needs to try and keep it consistent, keep it clean. Look at these lap times dropping off a cliff here, so I can already tell that the medium tyres are the best one to be on at this point in the stint. And Fabian there, once again, is so close to CB. It's just such a great fight for this race lead between these two. Inseparable on the track right now. One of the best lead fights I've seen all season in F2. We saw it in Qatar, a great 3-way lead fight, almost 4-way lead fight at one point. And now we see it once again. Fabian trying his best. He goes a little bit too early on the turn in there, but he still gets a better exit than CB, slightly, but now with the overspeed he should close in greatly going into the second DRS zone. Fabian will gain huge amounts of time heading into the chicane. Not as much as the previous few laps. Dervas is lucky he has DRS because it's the only thing keeping John behind him at this point. And once again, CB struggling with the braking into the chicane. He's not going to have a very good exit. This could be Fabian's chance here, the best chance he's had so far to go for the race lead. He's got DRS. Does he have the straight line speed to pull ahead of CB though? CB does seem to have superior straight line speed in that AX, but I think Fabian should just about pull ahead and go to the inside to defend. And he does. He finally gets the lead off CB definitively here. And this is great news for him and Invicta now, as CB almost at the back of the corner and goes understeering off the track in the process. And now Dervas, who's dropped John. What happened to John? He's lost loads of time here to Dervas. Oh, John must have been the chicane. Oh, so he almost hit Dervas, and this might be a problem for his race because he was looking good to get potentially a race victory even there. And Dervas has also picked up the pace ever since that. Oh, did CB go for the pit entry and then miss it? I don't know what that was. CB. So CB tried to go into the pit lane, but braked too late for the entry. Of course, I think very early for that entry in F2 without hitting the inside. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a crash in the pit lane, to be honest, given how bad the brakes are in this series, especially with one tyre. So CB there chasing down Fabian up front, really running over those curves. If you remember it, of course, none of you would remember, but I remember in Season 7 in NPL in F1, this new guy, Casper, the Polish driver, had a massive crash during the race when he was in his debut, looking to win the race with the superior strategy, similar to what John's doing with the overcut, and then absolutely slammed into the wall coming out of turn 3 because he went over those really tall curbs by running just a little bit too wide for the corner, being too aggressive, trying to gain time on me at the time, and crashed out of the race on lap 10, and that cost him a chance to, probably was his only real chance to win a race in his career after that, because he kept crashing and kept disconnected from the session afterwards and then stopped racing. So Casper was a driver who I would have wished to have raced more because he's very fast. These days he's quicker than Thijs and Isaac, so I wouldn't want to race him anymore, but still, Dervas right behind these guys is losing time, and John still trying to get past as best he can, but CB is so close to Fabian, could not quite get past this time. So Fabian looked pretty quick here. I wouldn't be surprised if he could, but never mind. Here comes CB on the outside now, Fabian. He's going to have to go defensive here, and he breaks very late. CB backed out of it, very smart decision there. Doesn't want to get in any instance early in the race. Meanwhile, John's right behind Dervas, almost hits the back of him. Dervas just, it hits him again now through the final sector. John looks so much faster than Dervas through this section, and they're losing heaps of time to the leading cars. This is exactly what Fabian needs. Is this intentional from Dervas here? Also, when will he pit? He pits now. Decides to cover off Graham Crackers, who will have those fresh super soft tyres. Sorry, I should say medium tyres, I should say. Oh no, and no, that's true. Fabian came in, Dervas did too, and that's going to double stack the Invictus and cost Dervas even more time now. Disaster now for Dervas. In the context of this race, oh no, Dervas' race is coming undone here. Terrible for the championship. As he should have stayed out, to be honest. I don't know why he came. I think Fabian made a late call. Maybe Dervas didn't even see that he came. I didn't see that he came into the pit lane, to be honest. But he did, and Dervas is going to lose probably about 10 seconds at this point to John now in the race, which is absolutely pivotal. And this is not good news for him now. CB will try his best to break away from these guys, trying the overcut here. He may as well just pit around the same time as John, because there's not really much benefit to pit. Well, I guess he could try and pit earlier, but the tyre offset is what's going to give him the advantage. Meanwhile, Dervas, crucially, comes out behind Graham Crackers now, which is terrible for his championship challenge. Dervas trying to get points on John here, who's on a great strategy too. This is not looking like a good time for Dervas in the Invicta now. What, John? Now, if there was a red flag and the drivers decided to not race, Riley would get the podium here, but that's the only universe where this could possibly give Riley the win, or a podium rather. You know what I think should happen? I think CB, John, Fabian, and Graham Crackers and Dervas should get disqualified for driving too fast under the safety car, and Riley would easily. The one that's right now, do you not see the yellow car on the track? That's the safety car icon. You guys are going way too fast. So yeah, there's actually two of them. There's two safety cars. You have to go half as fast. Yeah, see, Riley's smart. He's not exceeding the delta. He's going at a normal pace. You guys are crazy. We've already got like 7 drive-throughs. You guys are going to get disqualified in the last few laps. So as of right now, John hasn't got enough laps left in the race to complete it without serving all his drive-throughs, so he's going to get disqualified. And Riley gets a net P1 here. Wonderful stuff in this race. Really fun to watch. Riley, with one of his best performances yet, he's just so dominant. Ever since that win in Brazil, he's been a new man. He's been absolutely on it. Always winning races. He's won every single race this season ever since, so, you know. That's true. Riley does actually, he did win the championship in Brazil with that incredible rule that we added, where he got 1,000 times points for winning because he's Riley and he's cool. And unfortunately, that means no one else can win the championship. So this is a pretty boring, pointless race, really. It's just kind of Riley flexing on everyone again. Not really much point. You should really go easy on these drivers. So look at that. Riley he's already pitted and he's still 14 seconds ahead of Fabian. He's so fast. It's insane. Crazy. So many. Yeah, Riley, honestly, Riley could just not pit and still win because you get disqualified after everyone else, so he finished ahead anyway. So, really good stuff. John, though, leads the way by almost 10 seconds for now, but that's only because he hasn't pitted and Riley has, so, you know, it's pretty obvious he's really going to be leading this race. But, Fabian there, back to the real world. CB on those fresher tyres. Let's see how old those are. So, 1 lap tyre difference between CB and Fabian. This could be proof crucial for Fabian now. If he can keep that gap to CB behind, They're going to be gaining heaps of time on John now. He's pitting now on the medium tyres for the super softs. I think that's a pretty early stop, I can't lie. They really lose a lot of time, but the super softs are much quicker and they do wear off pretty quickly. So 7 laps to do on the super softs for John as he comes across the line to start lap 11 of 17. Riley there continues on, 9 lap old medium tyres, make that 10 now as he crosses the line. Fabian though will be on 2 lap old tyres, and he will look to continue to bridge the gap to CB behind him. And meanwhile, Graham Crackers, if these cars in front fight too much, could very well be back in the fight here, as Fabian gets the fastest lap of the race, and CB gets the purple last sector. So CB very much on his way to catch back up to Fabian, and we will have a 3-way fight for the lead here between John, Fabian, and CB very shortly, I believe. Will he get ahead of Graham Crackers though is the question. I think he won't. It'll be so close on the pit exit. It's going to be side by side, I think. Oh, he got ahead. Graham Crackers ahead of John, but John has those fresh super softs, but that is not good for John. He now has to dispatch of 1 car before he can get to those leading cars at the front of the field. So CB with the overcut should have a massive advantage over Fabian here. He's already pretty quick, and now he's got those fresher medium tyres. That should make all the difference in this race come the end of the race. So it's very much all to play for here at Abu Dhabi today. John actually losing time to Graham Crackers on fresh super soft. I think he is actually washed. Oh no, Graham Crackers missed the corner there. He braked too late into the chicane. This is going to give John a great opportunity here. He didn't actually get a warning for that because I think he did lose a little bit of time on the exit, but not much to be honest. He got away with that pretty well. Meanwhile, CB must have made a mistake because he's lost about 7 tenths or about 6 tenths to Fabian down that straight alone. So I'm not sure what happened to CB there, but I was looking at the time between them. Down the previous straight was 1.2 seconds. Now it's 1.8 relatively, and now it's quite down to 1.7, but something must have happened to CB there. No audio for John, that's not good, because you've got to hit the RPM to know how much you can push the car. That's a very important part of racing in this series. Ever since F125 came out, it's important to hear the revs. And Riley decides to ignore team orders from Graham Crackers and pits, not to hold up the rest of the field here. Riley is the number 1 driver. He does get priority in pit stops, and that's why he pitted at this time. He's now going to have really fresh tyres, and he's going to be way faster than everyone else. Meanwhile, fastest lap for Fabian. Continuing on his way quicker than CB on that lap, but that's because CB, I think, made a mistake. So he's now set to sights after him once again. Look how much more committed CB is through that corner than Graham Crackers. There's one thing I've noticed between them. In that first sector, Graham Crackers loses about 3 tenths to the cars in front on most laps. It's one big difference I've noticed. I think he needs to really tidy that up. Meanwhile, purple first sector for John now. He's starting to pick up the pace in the super softs, getting that tyre into the temperature window. And now he has a 4-second gap once he dispatches of Graham Crackers to make up before he gets in this lead fight. Will the ERS that Graham Crackers doesn't have save him from John behind? I don't think it will. Because John on the inside with DRS will send a move down the inside. That's late on the brakes, but late enough. He gets the move to say he gets the car stopped in time. Great overtake there from John. A late dive bomb, and he made it stick. And into 3rd place goes the championship leader. Now continuing to extend his lead in the championship over Devils. What the hell was that? Oh, was that his AI car? Has he lagged out? Oh no, something's gone wrong for John here. Oh no, John's disconnected. Oh my god. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. The championship leader with a connection issue. This could be massive in the championship. Devas will have to send it to try and chase after John in front before he can reconnect. I invited him straight away, but what on earth? And this is costing John a chance for a podium. This is terrible luck for John. I've never seen this before to John ever. I don't think I remember the last time John got a connection issue. I think he once had it in qualifying, but he's never had it in a race before, and this is terrible news for John. Oh, he's pitting! John's AI car's pitting! And that's even worse now for him. Oh my god, what on earth. An incredible moment in the championship. This is horrible news for him. And Dervas could now very well get into 4th place and gain huge amounts of points on his championship rival going into this, when John absolutely deserved to get the points he was going to get, and I can't believe that this is happening. John pits for another set of super softs, but now he's way behind the field. And Graham Crackers lightweight, no reaction, gets onto the podium, and now we look back to the lead fight between CB and Fabian. Meanwhile, it's not over yet, because now Riley's behind Dervas for 4th place, because Dervas is really struggling now ever since he had to double stack with Fabian. Has cost him massively in this race, and now Riley, who's got way quicker tyres than him, is chasing him down for 4th place on track. And this looks like a pretty easy overtake it's going to be here for Riley at the end of this race. Here he comes. The overcut is a very good strategy at this track. It would have worked for John, but now he's 21 seconds behind his championship rivals. I think he's disconnected again. His car's ghosted. So now, this is bad for Dervas, because now, oh, never mind, as Riley goes in deep, and this could give Dervas a chance to get back past him here. Fabian's driving so quickly. I'm surprised how fast Fabian actually is here. I thought CB would be far more dominant than this, honestly. Given his pace last season at this track, he was so much quicker than everyone else. this season, though, it looks a lot more competitive. So he's trying his best to close the gap to Fabian, who is having a wonderful season in F2 ever since he joined. I think Fabian, if he did actually race full-time in F2 next season, could very well win the championship. And he'd be a very daunting championship contender to John, who is having issues here. Meanwhile, Devas did get ahead of Riley once again. What a move down the inside! Absolutely insane attempt of a move there. Purely out of traction from Riley. Oh, big contact, he spins around. Does a half spin, he saves it. But Riley there, trying in a very, very bold move on the inside of Devas in the final sector. I've never seen an attempt of a namesake in that corner. That was not Devas' fault. I think that was a racing incident, I'm not going to lie. There was space, but wasn't much. That was crazy, though. I can't believe how much more traction Riley had to actually try that move and genuinely make the apex. Well, there's a reason for that. Devas is a clean driver, unlike you. Anyway, CB continuing on in second. I would respect my elderly. I'm pretty elder myself. I'm 18 years old. I know that Cyril's like 25 or something stupid because he's a nonce, but you know, anyway. I didn't say I was. 18? Oh, sorry, hearing aids because of your age. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Here comes Riley on Devas. Also, yeah, Cyril, you are the oldest person ever, I believe. You're the oldest person ever. I think you're about 6, 7 years old. To be fair, Fabian was about 6 years old when he fucking won NPL for the first time in Season 1. He was like 10, which is crazy. Anyway, CB, continuing on. You wouldn't believe Fabian, even though he's still the youngest driver in NPL, was actually in NPL in the first season back in 2022. It's crazy to see Fabian and how much he's progressed in the series. Ever since his first win in F1 and NPL in Season 1, Race 8 at France, when he beat me and Tice in a pretty closely matched race, where he then pulled away at the end to get a victory. Right as I say that as well, CB with a monstrous lap there, 135.9, gets himself back into contention. John, I'm sure they will beat that, and will give himself a fastest lap point with those fresh superstar tyres he has, and the pretty good pace he has too. So it's not over yet with these cars in front battling. Something's wrong with John's game here. The game tells him to pit every lap. Meanwhile, Riley gets the fastest lap. You don't see that very often. Riley there with his championship in the bag, doesn't need to worry about anything. He's just cruising to these fastest laps. Absolutely dominant driver. Also, CB braked way too late into that corner and only just managed to stay within DRS range of Fabian. So, this is not good news for CB. He's pushing really hard, trying anything he can, throwing this car around the corners to get close to Fabian in any way he can. John, though, beats his lap by just a 10th. So close. Championship leader. This means that only 1 point lost to Dervas as of the end of this race, unless Dervas were to, for whatever reason, pit for Super Sauce, but I don't see why he'd do that. You also have to overtake John, by the way. Anyway. By the way, the difference in fastest lap between Graham Crackers and John is exactly 1.1 seconds to the 1000th. Anyway, so I've mentioned it. And the difference between John and Riley's fastest lap, which are the first and second fastest laps of the race, those are separated by only 0.106 seconds, so that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, it is currently 20 to 8, and that means you have 20 minutes until F1 starts, with just 2 laps remaining in the NPL F1 race. F2 I should say. Is meanwhile, CB, who was chasing Fabian down, who himself hit the wall, has now crashed himself. Has he got damage though? He doesn't have any visible damage, but he may well have gotten damage from that incident, because that was a pretty hard impact there. I want to mention, by the way, Fabian's gone from last to first, by the way. I want to mention that to everyone. One absolute beast he's been this season in F2. So, that's so unfortunate. John's game crashed, I believe. And that cost him a chance to get probably a podium today at least, maybe even the win. And Dervas, meanwhile, yes, Cyril could have won if he was game. By the way, Cyril, you could very well get a podium this weekend if you luck in, but you have some competition, I must say. There's a few new people that are really fast. Oh, yeah, and also this new Polish guy's really good. This Adam Red Bull guy's insanely good too. Yeah, there's a lot of good drivers. And the new McLaren guy's fast too, so good luck. Yeah, P5 will be a challenge today, I'll be honest. There's a lot of good drivers coming into this. I hope they all race as well, that'll be good. Meanwhile, CB is the closest he's ever been ever since he pitted to Fabian. He's only 5 tenths behind him heading into this. This could very well, just like Jeddah, be a final lap battle for the win. We love to see it. We want last lap fights to the win more often than MPL, and we could very well see it today. What is CB doing? He's going so wide. That cost him time, if anything. Trying to get close to Fabian there. Is he trying to make it interesting? I don't know what he's doing. But he's going a little bit deep there. He's just second. Riley is gone away from Dervas now. He's so much quicker on those fresh superstar tyres. And Dervas continuing on in 5th place will only gain 1 point on his championship rival, which not what he would have wanted, but to be fair, he didn't lose any points either, which he very well could have done if it weren't for John's very unlucky disconnect there. But in the contest in the championship, John's already, 14 points ahead of Dervas anyway, so as of after this race. So now it's going to be very close. Meanwhile, the leaders have started the final lap. Let's watch this fight for the race win. It's CB versus Fabian now, heading on to the final lap of the race. It's AIX versus Invicta at the front of the field, 2 Primers behind that, and then the Zervas, which is the Invicta teammate of Fabian, in 5th place, who's fighting for a championship here, but both championship contenders are in the back of the field. CB, though, looking to get back in that title fight with a win here today. Can he do it? He's going to have to chase down Fabian with all his might at the end of this race. I don't know if he's close enough, because Fabian's pace and metronomic consistency through his experience is really paying dividends at the end of this race in Abu Dhabi and F2. This is wonderful stuff, though, from both drivers who've really tried their best today. CB absolutely sends it into the chicane, brakes nice and perfectly there, and going through the corners. Through the chicane, gets a great exit. Not quite as good as Fabian, but still very good in his own right. Chasing him down with the DRS. The car has great straight line speed in that AIX. Will he get close enough to Fabian in the Invicta in front? On the far lap, he's not close enough to make a move here. He's going to have to try and send a move in this final sector, if he can. I heard some traction control being used there from someone. Is that CB? I'm not sure. Meanwhile, CB there chasing down Fabian into the final sector. He goes in deep, trying anything he can to throw the car through the corners. If anything, he just compromises final sector, but it's not over yet. Oh, he got beached on the curve. That should be it. He's in the wall. And meanwhile, Fabian, with a wonderful performance here in the Invicta, a measured drive from an experienced driver, gets his 2nd win in F2 and wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix by just 4 tenths, over the line from CB in 2nd place with a wonderful performance himself. Gromcrax gets the podium. CB there was not happy with his brakes at the end of that race. Really seemed to cost, but I could see it throughout the race. Great podium from Gromcrax in the Framer. Good comeback drive after that unfortunate first lap incident. Comes back to finish 3rd. Riley just about finishes in 4th ahead of Dervas there in 5th. The tyres must have really dropped off at the end there for him on the Super Soft. As John will finish way down the order there after a very unlucky disconnect. 15 seconds behind the championship leader. With his championship rival, that's fine. And he's going to hit the pit wall. Doesn't actually hit the wall in the end. He crashes over the line and he finishes in 6th place for 8 points. Make that 9 as he got fastest lap. And an extra bonus 2 points for Gromcrackers in 3rd. Gives him 17 because he got pole position. What a race. That was genuinely a really good race, surprisingly, Abu Dhabi with only 6 people. Very classic NPL stuff there. If we went for that lap 1 instant, I think Gromcrackers could have genuinely won this race, but it's all if puts and maybes, really. So that concludes the race. Fabian wins from CB in 2nd, Gromcrackers in 3rd, Riley in 4th, Dervas 5th, and John in 6th. Tune in literally like 15 minutes from now. Don't go anywhere. In just 15 minutes time, we'll be here for NPL F1 at Singapore for a night race. It's going to be an absolute banger. I'm very excited to see who races and how well everyone does. Anyway, we'll see you later. I'm scared that the stream's not working. Hold on a minute. By the way, there's Eric Vittini guy, who's the Dominican guy. He'll race. The Adam guy might race in the Red Bull. The new McLaren driver's going to race, and this new Polish reserve driver's going to race as well. So we've got loads of new people, who all of which, by the way, can race more than 105 AI, so they're really good. Wait, what? Yeah, and chosen as the full-time driver. You have to ask him for the seat back if you want it. But yeah. That's me. He deserves a seat. You know, don't worry, though, CB. You'll get a full-time seat for next season, most likely. Yes. Promote me. What are you talking about?